Hi everyone, welcome to Full Moon Yoga. My name is Sarah and I am your back row yogi. And today I'm going to do a 10-minute yoga and breathwork flow that is connected to the full moon. If you've been following me for a little bit, you know I love a good moon cycle, particularly a full moon. It's a really beautiful time to release and let go of whatever isn't serving you. And with today's yoga movements, we're going to really work into some of the places where we hold a lot of our emotions, a lot of tension. So think hips, think shoulders, think neck. And we're going to do some breath work that's also very cooling as well. So the moon is obviously a very cooling energy. Think water, think dark, think night, very cooling. So we're not looking for a lot of energy when we do a full moon yoga ritual or flow, whatever you want to call it. We're looking for a very kind of cooling sensation, just relaxation, reflection, looking inward. So there's going to be a lot of forward folds, a lot of hip openings, and some twists for releasing. It feels really, really great. And before we get started, I just recommend that you get yourself as comfortable as possible. So we really want to make sure we're cozy, maybe turn the lights down. I have a nice candle going. Maybe you have some twinkle lights on. I got my cozy wool socks, have a nice blanket behind me that I'm going to put on myself later. And maybe even a journal. I have a moon journal, of course. Are we surprised? But maybe just a piece of paper or something nearby. If anything comes up for you during this, you can always just jot something down. I like to do a release ritual during the full moon where I write down the main thing I want to let go of, and then I either burn it or I rip it up. So you can always have that nearby as well if you want to make a nice kind of full ritual. But just make sure you're cozy. That's the most important. And we're going to start with a little bit of grounding work here. So just let yourself sit. Maybe you're sitting up on your glutes, or maybe you want to sit on a bolster or grab that blanket, sit on that. And just give a few rocks side to side, just releasing, shaking out, fingers, fluttering lips. I actually need to shake out my legs a little bit. And just allow yourself to find a little stillness when you feel ready. Maybe close the eyes or just soften the gaze. So your hands rest for now on the knees. Just start to soften in the face, in the shoulders, in the belly, in the glutes. Just kind of slowly move down the body. And as you relax each section of your body, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the full moon, what it means when I say working with that energy. So the main aspects of a full moon include releasing, reflection, but also celebration and gratitude. So the actions of the full moon is really about looking inwards, checking back on how the last few weeks have been for you, and then noticing areas where you can celebrate, but also noticing areas that you can let go of. Is there anything that you will need to release? Or maybe you want to bring in some more gratitude for what you've done. And it might seem a little, unusual or new to you to kind of work with moon energy. But if you think about it, the moon affects the tides, affects our planet. And as we are mainly made up of water, it makes sense that we will feel different depending on how strong the moon is. So when we talk about working with the moon energy, it's really just aligning with what it means to be in that particular cycle of life. So the full moon, as we know, is when it's full, meaning it has a direct reflection from the sun. So it is fully illuminated. That's where the idea of the reflecting inward comes in when it comes to the full moon. Your reflection, everything is in full illumination. So that might mean some things are coming out of the dark that you need to let go of. That's a big part of the full moon as well. So it's important that we are cozy and comfortable, because sometimes these releases can be a little uncomfortable emotionally. So it's important that we are gentle with ourselves, that we're kind. When we're done with the yoga flow, maybe go take a bubble bath or do a nice face mask. Give yourself a little foot rub, whatever you like to do to relax. Maybe add that to the end of the yoga flow. But for right now, bring your hands to your belly And just start breathing into that space underneath the hands. Exhaling out through the mouth. Keep getting bigger in the belly. Inhale. Open the mouth, let it go. Let's do one more. Big inhale, fill up. Open the mouth, let it go. Beautiful. And just gently release the hands and just let yourself ponder this question for a moment. What is the one thing I need to release? And just let the first thing that comes into your mind, maybe that's it. And maybe set an intention with that release in mind. Something like, I am releasing my fear. Let's just say that's your release. I am releasing X. And as we move through this flow and we do twist, or we kind of give ourselves a nice deep hip opener, maybe think that affirmation over and over again, just kind of allowing the body movements and the breath to go with that release. Let's take one more big inhale here. Open the mouth side out. Nice. And just wiggle fingers and toes. Take a few neck circles here, just releasing. And we're going to slowly find our way to a tabletop. So you can sweep the legs around. I'm just going to turn to face this way, but you can stay facing whatever direction. And you're just going to find some cat-cows. Now go right into whatever feels good here. So if you know right away you want to get into some nice deep hip circles, maybe you just heard my hip crack. I think my neighbors heard that. Tucking the toes also feels nice. Just move. Think, or I should say, don't think. Move intuitively. Sometimes it's nice to not have a structure, especially when we're trying to release something. You never know where things are stuck. So I encourage you at home to just make noise, let things go. I know sometimes it might feel a little awkward to do it in class. I encourage you to do it there as well. But if you're not comfortable with that, start at home. Release noise. Things are often stuck in the throat and the chest. They don't have to be. Let them go. Let's take 2 more breaths. 1 more. Exhale. Nice. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Now again, you stay where you are. I'm just going to turn this way to show you. Starting with the right leg. Keep the knee bent, lift it up to the side, and then just take a few circles just to kind of loosen up the hip joints and reverse the direction. And you're going to gently bring the right knee up towards the tricep and then just tuck it behind that left knee. And you can turn the shins a little bit to the side just to give your glutes some space, and then just rock back for a moment and then maybe come back up for a few rounds. I'm going to get back onto my mat here and just rock forward and back a few times. And then on maybe your 3rd time, just sit back a little bit, stretching into that right glute, maybe part of the right side of that lower back. You can reach the arms forward. Take a nice breath in. Breath out. And slowly come back up to your tabletop. You can release the cross in the knees and then just start taking a cat-cow or 2 just to let that go. And we'll do the same thing on that left side. So keep the left knee bent. Give yourself a few circles. Just remember to reverse the direction after a few. And the next time the left knee is up by the tricep, leave it there and then tuck it behind the right, turning those shins a little bit out to the side so that you have space to sit the glutes back. And again, take a few rocks first. It might feel a little awkward if you've never done this before. I know it's taken me a few times to get used to it. Then once you kind of find the spot, you'll know. And then maybe if you want to walk the arms forward. Take a nice breath in and a breath out. Nice, come all the way back up. Unravel the legs, take a cat-cow, let it go. Nice. And we're gonna take some tabletop threads here. So come back to a neutral tabletop. The right arm is gonna lift up. We're gonna take some pulses first just to warm up the backs of the shoulders, and then we'll hold the thread. So right arm lifts all the way up. Exhale as you thread and just tap the right cheek down, and then come all the way back up. Let's do 2 more. Last one, inhale, really squeeze the shoulder blades, feel the opening, and then as you find the thread, feel the shoulder blades move away from each other. I was too excited. And then hold this thread here. Maybe you walk that left arm forward, or maybe it's just not quite there at this moment. What I want you to focus on more is breathing into that right shoulder. Use your breath here. Your breath can be very cooling. So maybe think about inhaling right into that top right shoulder, right in the back, and then exhaling out any tension, like a nice wave of cool water. Let's take 2 more. I could sleep here. Exhale. Last one. Let it go. Nice. And then gently unravel that right arm all the way up. Give yourself a few windmills just to release the shoulder. And then we'll do that on the left side. If you want to take a cat-cow here just to kind of release and reset, and we'll do that on the left. So lift up that left arm, open up the chest, exhale, thread, just tap the left temple down, come all the way back up. Open up, oof, exhale. Last one, inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, counter stretch, and then exhale, thread as the shoulder blades come apart. And again, same options here. You can walk that right arm forward or keep it by the face. Breathing into that left shoulder this time, but also feeling that full spinal twist. If you are walking that right hand forward, try to keep the armpit from rolling up. Keep it pointing down. That way you can keep that nice twist. Let that cool breath wash over the left shoulder blade, any tension around there. Let's take 1 more here. Exhale. I lied, take 1 more. I need 1 more here. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring that right hand back towards the face. Unravel that left arm all the way up. Take a few circles. Nice. All right, we're gonna get a little bit more into the hips here. So let's start by finding a tabletop and then coming onto your forearms. And we're gonna take some cat-cows, really just focusing on the low back and the pelvis. So just round that low back, really feel the stretch more in the sacrum and the low back. And then exhale, drop the belly, stick the tailbone up. Feel that nice opening across the front of the pelvis. 2 more just like that. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale. And then maybe add some circles, just kind of move in the low back here. Tension can always creep up into the low back from the hips. So this might feel like a lot. That is okay. Take 1 more breath. Exhale. Nice. And then come back to your tabletop. We're gonna do 1 last thing in the tabletop. I'm again just gonna turn to you so that you can see. But you're gonna lift that right knee up like you did before, but you're gonna straighten the leg out and then plant the foot down. So your right toes are facing the same direction as your hands, and you're gonna tuck the back toes and just give yourself a little rock back and forth. Just breathing into that inner thigh. And think about sticking the tailbone up here, just like we just did in the forearms, because then you'll get a nice stretch in the in that muscle that wraps around the pelvis into the glutes. So maybe you play around with some cat-cows here. Or maybe you just stick to one shape, but you just kind of sit back further into that left heel. Whew, hello. Felt that one, okay. Take a few more rounds of breath here. And one more. Nice. And then untuck the back toes just to bring that right knee back in, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So lift that left leg, straighten the leg out, plant that foot down. Left toes face the same direction as your hands. Tuck the back toes. Same options here. You can stick the tailbone up, sitting the hips further back if that feels okay, or maybe take a few cat-cows. Play around, see what feels better on this side. It might be different. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Let's take one more here. Exhale. Nice. And gently bring that knee back in. Just come back to sit on the heels for a moment. Give the shoulders a nice big shrug. And then sit off to either side and just sweep the legs in front of you. Now again, I'm just gonna stay facing you. We're gonna do some twists in the legs. So you can start, I'll give you a few options. That left leg can be directly out in front of you. We're gonna step that right foot over onto the outside of the left thigh. Now, if you wanna tuck that left foot in as well, you can. It's completely up to how your hips feel today. I'm gonna do this just because I think my leg goes off screen if I don't, but feel free to keep that left leg out. And make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. So we're not taking the twist from back here because we don't really have a lot of space. So you're sitting up nice and tall on the sits bones. That's the bony parts of the glutes. Maybe not sharp, maybe, I don't know. Everyone's different. But take a nice breath in, and then maybe hug that right knee as you turn to the right twist. You can always hug it, or you can hook that left elbow if that feels better. But use that right hand as a kickstand to keep the chest lifted. Think of releasing whatever you want to let go of. Inhale, open the mouth, exhale, twist a little more, let it go. Ooh. And then come back to center. Take a little counter stretch or twist to the other side. Nice. And then just switch sides. Same options. You can have that right leg out directly in front of you. Sorry, I'm dealing with like a little bit of an injury on my left side, so it's making my my movement a little stilted. All right, same thing here. If sitting up nice and tall, you can give that left knee a little hug. And inhale as you lift up tall. Exhale as you twist. Take one more breath in. Think of what you want to let go of. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Twist a little more. Nice. And gently come back to center and just find that counter twist. Nice. And slowly come back to center. Just release the legs, shake them out. If you want to take a little rock on the glutes side to side, that might feel good. All right, we're gonna end today's yoga practice with a little bit of breath work. This is a cooling moon breath, also known as Chandra Vedana. And this is where we breathe in through our left nostril and we breathe out through our right nostril. We're gonna do it 10 times, and we can start together, but if you wanna move at your own pace, of course, feel free. Start by taking your right hand. You're just gonna lower your pointer and your middle finger down. was like really challenging for me, like that. And we're gonna hold the right nostril with the thumb, and we're gonna hold the left nostril with the ring finger. So let's start first by just taking a nice deep inhale. Long exhale out through the mouth. Nice. Seal the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left nostril. Seal the left. Exhale through the right. Seal the right. Inhale through the left. Seal the left. Exhale through the right. Seal the right. Inhale through the left. Seal the left. Exhale through the right. Seal the right. Inhale through the left. Seal the left. Exhale through the right. Take this 6 more times at your own pace. As you finish your last exhale, you can release. You can continue on if you want to keep going. But when you are finished, take a nice big inhale, fill up through the belly first. All the way up to the chest, up to the throat. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Let's seal our practice with an affirmation here. Hands to prayer at heart center. You can say something along the lines to yourself. I am releasing all that does not serve me, and I am bringing in happiness, joy, and peace. Let's seal that in with a breath together. Open the mouth, send it back out. Thank you all so much for trusting me to guide you on this full moon yoga and breathwork journey. And please go off and do something very comforting for yourself, whether it's journaling, maybe releasing through a burning ritual, or maybe it's just go hugging a pet or a loved one. But just do something that makes you feel really good. And have a great full moon. Bye.